Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I'm looking forward to sharing this lesson with you today. It's going to be about accents. No, not regional differences in speaking, like here in the United States.
Don't feed the dog coffee, but she does the exact opposite. She feeds the dog coffee, and now I have a dead dog, a dumb daughter, and no coffee.
No, not that. Accents is the emphasis on a certain part of the word that forms a natural rhythm of speech.
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
We're not really familiar with that in English. I only learned it in like 11th grade English class when we learned about Shakespearean iambic pentameter. I won't go into that. I am going to put a link to a great video about syllabic intonation down below, so you can check that out. Please do that now, then come back. We'll continue with the video. I hope you enjoyed that video. That was link number 1 down below. She talked about how words have a syllable that has an emphasis. In other words, it's pronounced, it has a longer time that you spend and a little bit higher volume and pitch when you're pronouncing that word. Now that happens also in Portuguese, and it's actually very similar to English in that most words, the second to last syllable is the one that's emphasized. So for example, the word pensamentos, the syllable that's emphasized is the entus. It's the second to last syllable. So that's good to know because that ending, mantu, is very common in Portuguese. So all the words that you see with that ending, pensamento, geralmente, comumente, they all have that same emphasis on that ending. Moving on from that subject to the accents. It's very important to take note of words with letters that are accented. So anytime a word has a letter with the acento, so the mark, like a slash over that letter, that syllable is the one that's emphasized in that word, always. And for me, I think of it kind of like a roller coaster. Think of the word as your track on the roller coaster. The syllable that's emphasized is like you get to the top of that really high drop and you start to drop down. So think of it when you're going down, you got your hands up, you're like, whee! I'm gonna make some references to the Watchtower for this week. It's the Sentinela de Julho 2020, July 2020 Watchtower. And there's a great sentence here in paragraph 4. Nós já sabemos que o único motivo que a Bíblia dá para o divórcio é a imoralidade sexual. So there's a lot of words with accents in that paragraph, and I want you to take note of divórcio. The O in the middle of that word has the accent, and it's pronounced higher. Your mouth is more open. Divórcio. So the O is given the emphasis, and you want to reduce the volume, reduce the strength of the pronunciation for the last part of the word. Be careful that you don't put more than one accented syllable on a word, because then it might just sound weird. Pensamentos. It's like an earthquake. It's very strange to hear. Okay, some more points to take note of. I'm going to refer back to that Watchtower, and we're going to look at paragraph 13. I want you to take note of a few words there. Comentários, possível, e daí. So, comentários, the A is emphasized, and the ending is softer, more subtle than the A. Next, we have possível. Again, take note of how the I is accented, it's more open, and it's pronounced for a longer time than I. So if I was to say that word without the accent, it would be possível. But because the I is accented, we say possível. And another point to take note of is that word daí. When you have two vowels next to each other, if one of those vowels is accented, that turns into a separate syllable. In other words, if that word D-A-I did not have an accent, it would be pronounced die. The A and the I become what's called a diphthong. They're pronounced like one letter together. However, this word does have an accent, so the A and the I are pronounced separately, two separate letters. Dai. Got it? Okay. One more point before we go is caution with words that are words with an accent and a different word when they appear without an accent. A good example of this is esta, which means this, and está, which means it is. It's a conjugation of a verb, two completely different words. So it's very important to make sure that your accent is correct. Otherwise, you're changing the meaning of the entire word. So again, esta, no accent. Está is the word with the accent, and that means to be or it is. Another word this happens with, very common, is the letter E. With an accent, again, it's a conjugation of a verb. It means to be, it is. So without an accent, it means and. So again, tiny word, big difference in meanings. I'll pronounce them for you now. E, Cláudio e Jennifer. It means and. É, Jennifer é uma mulher. If I say Jennifer é Cláudio, that means Jennifer is Claudio. Not true. And conversely, if you say Jennifer e uma mulher, that means Jennifer and a woman. Again, very different meaning. So watch out for that one. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. As always, leave your comments, questions down below. Let me know what you'd like to talk about next. Although I have many great ideas, so stay tuned.